So last time we talked about the protests that were going on in Los Angeles, California. But today I want to talk about how we really got here. So as we discussed in our previous video, there have been massive protests all over Los Angeles, California, protesting the presence of ICE and their efforts to deport dozens and dozens of undocumented immigrants in the city. A lot of members of the community have come out and objected to those deportations and their legality and the way that they've been conducted, in the nature in which ICE has made its presence felt in that community. And you've seen demonstrations all over the city like this, and there have been tons more people coming out, and there's more protests coming up. But we've already discussed that in the previous video. I'd like to talk about, like I said, how we got here. Now, back in January, a little after a week after Donald Trump took office, his administration officials confronted ICE officials and aggressively told them to ramp up the number of people that they were arresting from a few hundred a day to at least 1,200 to 1,500 per day. Now, that was after the president had exposed like a disappointment with the numbers that were coming in as a result of his mass deportation campaign. He was saying that they wanted to increase the number of people that they were arresting. Now, they had set an internal goal of deporting about 1 million people during Trump's first year. And they've changed leadership personnel multiple times to pursue that end. Now, the reason why they've had so much difficulties with this is because of their efforts in trying to target specifically criminal illegal aliens or criminal undocumented immigrants. Now, because of that very same aspect, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, he was ordering federal agents to arrest more people without criminal convictions. And that is one of the most likely reasons that have sparked these protests all over Los Angeles and in other places across the country. Now, there have been arrests in places like Home Depot and nail salons and car washes. Now, this is where we have to really get into the nitty-gritty with this, right? Is because they're asserting that these people are criminals. You even have here where Trump officials have asserted that their immigration actions have focused on criminals because the public supports deporting people with criminal convictions far more than arresting longtime residents and workers. Now, a slight majority feel the administration's deportation efforts have been prioritizing people that they believe are dangerous criminals. Now, those who say this are very supportive of that, which, as most people will likely be, they're going to be supportive of getting criminals, people they feel are dangerous, out of the country. And they feel that the program is making people in the U.S. safer. But if people don't think it's dangerous criminals who are the focus of the deportation effort, support drops dramatically. Now, why else do you think that they would make efforts in order to frame these people as dangerous, illegal criminals who are making your communities less safe? So here's my main complaint about this, right? Is if we're working off the narrative, off the framing that we are going after illegal, dangerous criminals and gang members and people who are here to hurt people, I have one question for Donald Trump, his supporters, and his administration. If we're only focused on criminals, why do we keep arresting people that are going through legal proceedings and at immigration hearings? Why are we arresting people at courthouses? Again, why are we arresting people while they're trying to go through the proper legal proceedings and follow our nation's laws, and we're arresting them, but they're criminals who are breaking our laws, but they're going through the proper legal channels and following our laws? What? Why are we going and breaking families apart and arresting people who have been here for years and years and working at express hand car wash and detail? Why would we do that if they're criminals? Why are we going to arrest people at detailing? What are we doing? If we were going after criminals and gang members and drug dealers, why wouldn't we be raiding trap houses and drug dens and street corners? And, why wouldn't we be going to where, criminal activity might be, held? Why are we arresting families and holding them in the basement of administrative buildings for, over 48 hours without any supplies and with a bottle of water that they need to share with children as young as 3 years old? What are we doing? If we were after criminal, illegal aliens and, undocumented immigrants who are coming here to hurt people and, take resources and put drugs in the community, why are we arresting college students? Why are we putting them through this? Why are we doing this to them? Because it was never about getting criminals out. It was about getting these numbers up. They want to remove these people regardless of what it looks like. They don't care if they have criminal records. Because if they cared, if they had criminal records, they wouldn't be raiding car washes and Home Depots and construction sites and nail salons to arrest these dangerous, dangerous criminals. So I want to end this video off with something, because while I was doing the research for this video, it got me like really emotional, and I had to take a beat because I was actually overwhelmed with the parallels to my history in this country as a black man, and seeing the history unfold in front of my very eyes with these images I'm about to show you right now. I want you to look at these people. I want you to watch their expressions, and I want you to see the fear in their face while they're being disappeared, while they're being captured in broad daylight by masked individuals to go where God knows where. I want you to look at these families being ripped apart, and look at the fear in their faces, and the terror, and the fear of not knowing where you're going to end up or where your family's going to end up while these people come in broad daylight and take you to God knows where. I want you to look at how dangerous that woman looks. I want you to look how, she was up to something, wasn't she? Look at how dangerous she is. And look at how, these guys are defending us. They sure are. I just want you to look at it. I just want you to take a minute and look at their faces and experience these moments with them. I want you to watch as ICE agents rip this woman away while she's got her baby in her hand to make an arrest, because these people are just so dangerous, aren't they? This is the good work, right? This is the work we're trying to do. This is making America great again. Is this it right here? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This is where I'm at. If you look at these images and you don't feel anything, you don't have the capacity to feel anything. I want you to look at these images before you go to church on Sunday. And I want you to talk about just how good of a Christian you are while you look at the faces of these people who you voted for this to happen to. And I want you to talk about how good of a Christian you are, and how loving you are, and how caring you are, while you feel no empathy for these people. I want you to do that. I want you to do that. I want you to show me just how empty you are by feeling nothing for these people. The very fact that some people will see those images and cheer and celebrate and say, "Job well done," will never, ever sit right with me. Fascism has arrived in America, and we have people who are celebrating it. Authoritarianism has arrived in America, and we voted for it. Congratulations.